So welcome everybody to today's webinar, Exponential Banking, the Revolution in Financial Services. Before we start, some instructions. All the attendees, they are on mute mode. If you would like to ask questions, please use the Q&A module in the toolbar, and we will ask selected questions at the end. Today is a great day because we have the opportunity to host this webinar together with our partner GFT. GFT is working closely with us in many geographies to improve customer experience in digital banking. They have many years of experience in the financial service industry and share an understanding of the complexity involved in digitalizing banking processes. GFT is recognized as a financial industry specialist for 30 years and a long-time implementation partner for core banking systems worldwide. For that reason, our partnership is a perfect match and is very successful so far. unblu is a company too that is 100% focused on the financial industry. With our solutions, we allow financial institutions to deliver the in-person experience online across all touch points, bridging the gap between self-service application and traditional communication methods. GFT have seen the value on what we offer, and together we are bringing customer experience in the financial industry to the next level. So having said that, we are going to do today is welcome Ignasi Barri and Ricardo Elizo from GFT, because they are going to explain us how exponential technology is transforming the banking sector. Ignasi Barri works on business development and innovation around digital transformation at GFT. He has over 10 years of experience working in R&D and creating new value propositions for the banking industry. His current responsibilities include building innovative solutions to banking's challenges by applying exponential technologies such as machine learning, mobile and cloud computing, blockchain, augmented and virtual reality, among others, all while employing a design-lead approach. To accomplish these goals, he leads multidisciplinary teams that range from designers, data scientists, and full-stack developers, as well as startups, to help accelerate the market adoption of new solutions. Ricardo leads a team of experts on the digitalization of the banking sector, which closely follows the latest trends in digital banking and advises GFT clients around the world on the best way to integrate them into their daily operations. Since joining GFT in 2001, he has been working with large international banks in projects covering channel optimization like branches, online banking, mobile banking and CRM, data storage, business intelligence, and front and back office optimization, among others. Welcome you guys, and I hand over to you.
Hi everyone, this is Ignasi.
Good afternoon, this is Ricardo.
And today we're going to present what this concept of exponential banking is as the initial part of the presentation. For sure, we are going to talk about exponential technologies that are shaping the present and the future of the banking industry. We're going to provide different examples in which GFT is working at the moment with all these different technologies. And lastly, we're going to share some experiences that we are generating together with unblu in different customers. So starting with the content of the presentation, and let's see if this is going to work. Let me start with the definition of what is an exponential bank. And in a few words, an exponential bank is an institution that is taking advantage of those technologies called exponential technologies to build new services, new products, new business models. But at the end of the day, they are applying all these technologies to generate exponential growth, which is the particular thing that is different compared to the technologies that are more, let me put it that way, ancient technologies. Since we would like to make this topic quite simple and easy to understand, let me share with you how these technologies, these exponential technologies, are impacting, improving, and disrupting different industries. And I'm going to start with two examples. On the left-hand side, we have an example coming from the health or medicine industry. On the right-hand side, we have another one which is related to automotive. In both examples, we are seeing how the usage of AI, artificial intelligence, is changing dramatically the performance and totally the landscape of this industry. In the left-hand side, on the first image that we are seeing, it is just to exemplify how deep learning, which is a discipline within AI, it is being used to improve the diagnosis of skin cancer. And improve to compared to who? Compared to actual human beings, experts on that field. And the reason why these technologies are being applied nowadays is because we can have access to a big amount of data. The technology is cheaper, and we have a past record history of many skin cancer pictures that we can take to train these algorithms and models, and therefore we can improve the human performance. On the right-hand side, and similarly to what I have just explained about the skin cancer, thanks to AI and many sensors that self-driving cars are incorporating nowadays, we are able to recognize clearly what do we have in front of us when we are inside a self-driving car. And thanks to this information, for sure, we are able to brake or accelerate based on all these inputs that are coming from the surroundings of the car. This is not just changing the car industry, but it's going to change entirely the society, because the moment that we are not needed to sit on the front seat to drive, we can live in a very remote villages, which is going to change as well the shape and the conception of the cities. Advancing to more examples in which exponential technologies are being used. On the left-hand side, we have a video, and I'm going to just play, because you know that the video is worth 1,000 words. In that example, what we are seeing is a car falling directly on a TV show. Is a national weather channel in the States. They're being using over the last few weeks augmented reality to explain the impact or the implications of rare or weird weather conditions, like the Hurricane Florence that hit the States weeks ago. This is actually another technology that is being used also in many educational use cases. On the right-hand side, unfortunately, we still need prosthetics, and especially in war zones. The problem with prosthetics is that they are very expensive. And again, thanks to one exponential technology, which is 3D printing, we are able to model all these prosthetics and to print them, lowering the cost and making them more accessible to the whole humanity. If we advance to the last two examples that I just bring to you today, left-hand side, I'm pretty sure that you have seen many times the Amazon Echo. And Amazon is disclosing that thanks to this new device that you can interact using your voice, they are going to increase, the estimation is that they are going to increase the internet sales perform thanks to this new channel, which is at the end of the day helping you out to generate more business. And for sure, even in the banking industry, exponential technologies are being used to create new business opportunities, like the one that I'm sharing here, which is Santander Bank. It is taking advantage of blockchain-related technology to build real-time international money transfer. But if we have to identify what all these technologies have in common, and we're gonna come to this topic in a few seconds. But before that, if we are asked to list the different technologies that we tag as exponential technologies, the list is going to be endless. But just to mention a few of them: virtual reality, augmented reality, IoT, cloud, blockchain, AI, robotics, 3D printing, quantum computing, and many more. And what they have in common is that every single year, they are either doubling the computational speed or computational power every year, and or they are decreasing by half the cost of this technology. In other words, they are following what is well known as the Moore's law. I'm pretty sure that many of you that are connected and you're working for banks around the world, and perhaps the question that is in your mind is, all these technologies are great, but it's more like a cherry picking rather than being something that will help us change dramatically the bank to embrace this exponential growth that you have referred at the beginning of the presentation. And I have to say that I have to contradict you. And since I don't want to just support this statement with my words, but with one concrete example, let's review what occurred in the Korean market. And the use case or the business case that I would like to share with you is Kakao Bank. Kakao Bank is a digital bank created in Korea. And in just 24 hours, they acquired in 2017 more than 300,000 clients, new accounts. And in less than a year, they have acquired almost half of the market share in Korea. And this is a clear example how exponential growth, it is something also for the financial services industry. And if all these examples and all these business cases that I'm sharing are not enough, let me share with you also what the industry, the traditional industry, is actually disclosing, sharing, and motivating, right? So in the middle of the slide, we have actually the former CEO of Deutsche Bank, and he stated months ago that automation will generate a lot of benefits from the efficiency standpoint, but also it's going to create a cut in terms of human jobs. That's true. Actually, we are also seeing that all these new technologies will generate these cuts in terms of existing jobs, but will create many more jobs that are not quite common nowadays, like data scientists, among others. And another example that I have from one of the market leaders, it is coming from Francisco Gonzalez, the former president of BBVA. And he's repeating over and over again, not with only words, with facts and projects and many examples that they are delivering into the market, that they want to become a technology company. They would like to run away from the concept of being a traditional bank, and they are embracing technologies and exponential technologies to become a digital company that will provide financial services and other services to their customer base. Having reached this point, if you have to plan your transformation or your transition towards an exponential bank, let me disclose that it is not going to be only about technology. For sure, the topic of today's talk is exponential technologies, and these technologies will help you out to generate exponential growth. That's for sure true. But you have to build your roadmap, combining changes and transitions and advances in three main pillars. The first one is business. If you have to generate exponential growth, you have to think about what's beyond your current business model. The second one for sure is technology, and I'm not gonna insist on that topic again. So you have to be tech savvy. And the last one is the organization has to be aligned to all these changes that will occur to make sure that all these three pillars are working together toward the same goal, which is becoming a digital company that is going to embrace this exponential growth. For those that are wondering what exponential banking looks like more in a deeper layer, let me jump to the next slide. So an exponential bank is going to be a bank based on our experience and our forecast into the future that will have a groundwork composed with 4 different pillars. The first one is going to be a bank that will be focused on helping, providing services, giving advice, to their customer base and users, not focused on building products and services and afterwards trying to sell them no matter what. So the clear centricity is going to be customer. The second pillar is that they will necessarily think beyond banking. The current business of many banks, if you're doing well in terms of profitability and return of investment, it is what it is. If you would like to generate new opportunities, new growth, and compete with digital players that they are growing at 34% rate year over year, necessarily you have to think beyond banking, which means, as a first example, to sell your products and services using your own channels, but using somebody else's channels to sell your products and services, and the other way around. Let others sell their products and services using your channels. This is the concept of bank as a platform, a bank as a service, or a bank as an ecosystem. The third pillar, which is really important as well, is the operational efficiency. We know that many processes nowadays in many institutions, but particularly in the banking industry, are being handled manually. This is letting you guys to generate a lot of errors in all these processes. These are generating a lot of inefficiencies, and you can have part of these people that is working on all these processes manually working in a more added value processes where the human cognitive capabilities are more important rather than just processing documents and reading certain fields inside certain documents. And the last one, an exponential bank is going to be a bank that will be data-driven. So they will take data in their very core to take the smarter decisions in every single case. No matter whether it is going to be a internal decision that will have no impact on the end customer, or a decision that will be around providing the best advice possible to your customer when it comes to recommend a product, a service, you name it. And if we have to match all these 4 different pillars to exponential technologies that the GFT nowadays we are using, we are going to have the first pillar, which is called Augmented Banking, which is enhancing customer experience across all different channels. And in here, we are talking about digital channels, mobile, online, augmented reality, and virtual reality as technologies that are being in use. On the open banking arena, we are talking about APIs to let the bank connect to others or let others connect to the bank, and also blockchain. On the automation banking is the 3 key technologies that are being in use are business process automation, robotic process automation, and intelligent process automation. And the last pillar, which is cognitive banking, it is everything related to artificial intelligence. Could be machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, biometrics, natural language processing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as we repeat the GFT, we like to make the innovation tangible. And in order to provide you our credentials and our capabilities in being able to deliver solutions in all these 4 different pillars that compose the Exponential Bank, let me share with you one concrete demo per each pillar. I'm going to start with open banking. What we are seeing here is an example for the insurance industry, how the user is connecting to this new application. And one particular thing that we do differently is that we are retrieving information from the customer coming from different sources: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these platforms that you use to work out, like Fitbit or Garmin or things like this. If you take into consideration all the information that you don't own originally to enrich the data that you own, then you can create more personalized and accurate models of your customers, and therefore provide better services, better pricings, et cetera, et cetera. So here the conclusions is conveniency for the end customer. You're providing them the best service. The moment that you're taking advantage of the data that is available, you're fostering competition among your player, because it's not just about the data that you own, but the data that you are capable of getting. And it's about being a personal service. It's not going to be a pure generic segmentation, but something that is tailored for you. Talking about the benefits for the financial institutions, you have a better KYC, you can generate new revenue streams, you can differentiate from your customer, your competitors, sorry. You can shorten time to market, since you can leverage data that is coming from outside your corporation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Advancing to the next pillar, I'm going to talk about automation banking. We usually mislead I'll think about automation as something that is occurring in the back office of the bank, which is true, but that has no impact on the customer experience, which is not true. So in the example that we are seeing here, there is a customer to be interacting with the chatbot because this person is willing to start a mortgage application. And in the mortgage application, you have to submit different documents like your pay stubs, your salaries, your national ID, you name it. If we take weeks to process all these documents and then we take a decision and we come back to the customer, this is not engaging at all. And potentially we are kind of losing business. So what we are proposing, and actually what we are doing at the moment, is merging digital channels with robotic process automation and AI to streamline all these manual processes into an automatic processes that are able to provide an answer near real time. For sure here the benefits are quite evident. It's the fact that you can start a new interaction anytime, anywhere. The time to process is going to be lower, which means that we are providing immediate service to the end customers, and we let them communicate with you in a digital manner. For the bank or insurance company, it is about cutting costs, it is about reducing the number of errors, and it is about not losing the traction or the engagement with the customer, trying to keep them engaged and active to increase the likelihood of a potential conversion. Another example that we have in here is the cognitive banking, in which we are applying AI. Actually, what you're seeing here is a proof of concept that we've done, which is merging different technologies. But at the end of the day, is to answer questions like, what is the total cost of ownership? In that case, of my car. So if you have to answer this question, Normally, you have to enter into your personal finance management. You have to tag all the statements that are associated to a car. Then after that, you potentially have to enter this information in a spreadsheet to run the calculations, and after that, you have the number. What if I told you that? What if I tell you that you can grab your smartphone, you can point at your card, and automatically, using augmented reality, we can show you all the statements associated to owning a car, like the taxes that you pay, insurance, maintenance, all the travel that you've done, etc., etc., etc. Everything at a glance. Benefit is, again, anytime, anywhere. It is hyper personalized because it's about your car and it's about your finance. It is optimal, and because you're making the most of your data and your time. And if we have to highlight the benefits for the financial institutions, it is an aggregation of the previous benefits that I have already disclosed. Shorten time to market, differentiating, increasing KYC, etc., etc., etc. Lastly, when we talk about augmented banking, and as I said before, it is about enhancing the experience for your customers whenever they are and whenever they need. The conclusions that I would like to share here, and in a few seconds we are going to enter into the different use cases that we are doing with unblu, is about adaptive. So it is adapting to the channel in which you are communicating, is helping you out to create a strong bond with the customer. It is helping you out to keep the momentum with them, which is in one particular case that they need assistance, you can be there. Again, it's about personalization. You're trading with somebody that is going to take care about you. And for the financial institution, it's about increasing and improving loyalty, retention, conversion, engagement, customer information, satisfaction, you name it. But since we want to know more about these solutions and the benefits, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Ricardo that will explain you in more details about all these different stories. Ricardo, please.
Thank you, Ignasi. So you have put a very high level, and now it is my job to keep it. And then we are talking about GFT experiences with unblu collaboration platform. And then what I will explain in the following minutes are a couple of experiences. One that it is already in production from beginning of this year and on an ongoing process. Why we have selected these two experiences is because are two examples of how to integrate a collaboration platform and collaboration use cases with your customers. And in the first one, we will check which are the objectives of the bank. We will see how it works and the results achieved. And in the second, it is an insurance company that it is starting their way into the advisory. And the other interesting topic here is that in the first case, the travel from this better user experience of the customer, it is taken from the support experience, so from the contact center agents, and the plan is to spread this into different services and go until the part of advising your customers with a personal advisor. And in the second case is the other way around, totally from the advisory part until to the support, the contact center support. Okay, so let's start with the first experience. So when we started to talk with this bank, that it is leader in their geography, so they have more than 40% of customers. They are in all segments in banking, and the challenges was to personalize the support for online banking customers because they were changing completely their online banking platform, and by their experience, every time that they change the online banking platform, they have a race of calls into the contact center for support, not only for problems that sometimes happens, also because customers were not used with the new website and they had many questions to the support. And of course, improve the efficiency of the customer support process when issues appear and they have to be solved by the customer, by the bank. In this case, I will also like to thank to the customer, because we have a demo video in a testing environment, so we don't have real production data here to prevent GDPR issues and so on. And it is the same video that these customers presented in the Revolution Banking event in Madrid, that it was a great success for them and a very good use case. And what we see, it is in the left side, the agent screen. In the right side, we have the customer screen that at certain point of view, it is talking to the agent and requests the support. The agent provides a PIN number so that they can synchronize the sessions, and from this moment on, the agent is able to see what it is happening in the application of the customer, with no intrusion, in the sense that there is nothing to be installed into the equipment of the customer, and can perfectly lead which is the workflow, which is the issue that the customer may have, and even to highlight which are the sections that the customer should use to achieve their target. Of course, this has a lot of benefits, and what it is intended here is to have a more closer experience, that the customer benefits from all the advice and all the knowledge of the bank, and then for sure to be able to provide them the better advice and to be more effective into the support for the customers. So at the end, after a few weeks into production, what we can see in this summary are the outcomes of the implementation. And as we can see, there are two green ticks that, from the opinion of the customers and so on, is that it was achieved to have a best customer experience through the personalization of the support, and it was improved the efficiency of the online channels. But at the end, there are other benefits that are linked to that and are important for the banks. And for example, they noticed that from the very beginning, the time needed to support the customer in the calls was reduced by 20%. That the quality of the information that it was given into the IT tickets when there was a real issue was much higher. Then, therefore, the IT issue to be solved by the IT department, the resolution from several, maybe days, in some cases because of ping pong of exchanging information, to hours, because they have a clear idea of which was the issue to be solved. To have also metrics from the interaction. So another benefit of this kind of platform is that you have measure of the, not only about which is the duration of the call, that it is something that you can retrieve from the CTI systems. You have also a rating of the customers of the quality of the service. You have also the possibility to link the information of the issue and the global time resolution for any support action. Okay. From the other point of view, also the agents themselves were very happy with these services, because it allowed them to deliver a better service, quicker service, and then they had more happy customers. And last but not least, what it was very interesting, and it was something that it was unexpected at the very beginning, is that the best feedback received was from the small and medium enterprise request and support, because it is true that many times into the online banking applications, this kind of businesses have more difficult flows or more difficult transactions